love of hip-hop and rap and pop. Well, our next artist, Major Green, is here. Now, this young man, and let me tell you, because he's actually near me here, and I'm here in Greensboro, North Carolina, and he's not too far from the studios. But the fact is that this young man has been doing some wonderful and amazing things on the hip-hop scene. Yes, so the music that you're definitely going to hear today, you hear it. But let me tell you a little bit about Major and what makes him exciting about what he's doing. Now, this young man, reading his bio, he actually graduated from St. Augustine University with a Bachelor of Science degree in engineering and mathematics. So that means, he has that mind up there to put all this music together. Not only that, he loves dealing with different genres, so he understands not penciling himself into a box. That means that he can be very creative with the music that he creates. Definitely the lyrics that he's dropped in Source Nation has a message, and it has something to deal with, the issues that we're dealing with today, the world issues, which is magnificent within itself. I do believe I have Major in the studio with me. How are you this afternoon?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am wonderful. I am wonderful. Can you hear us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great. Well, of course, I didn't give you bio justice, but if you will, Major, because we've had the opportunity to really share you with Source Nation and to play some great music this week. So thank you so much for submitting that. But if you would just share a little bit about you, we will jump into the conversation after that.
Okay, well, I'm Major Green, currently out of Raleigh, North Carolina, independent artist. And I've just recently dropped my first album, Board the Plane. And so we're starting our campaign with spreading the word and the message behind the whole project.
Okay. I love that. Now, just taking a look at your bio, I mentioned that you graduated from St. Augustine, one of great HBCUs. I love of HBCUs. I actually graduated from North Carolina A&T State University. So
okay.
to know that you come from a fine university as well is great. Also, talk to us about having your college degree, but yet pursuing your passion in music, because it's so far from science and engineering and mathematics. So talk to us about that.
Well, I just took it as an experience to just gain knowledge overall, and so in doing that, in gaining that engineering mathematics degree, I experienced the college life that I'm able to apply in the message of my music. People going to college, it's a whole separate lifestyle from, outside in the real world. So I'm able to relate in that way. And also, just use the education that I've received to also deliver the message as well.
Mm-hmm. Love that. I love that. And one of the things that I really like is the fact that in your music itself, it has a message. And when you look at the particular industry that you're in and the actual style of music, it doesn't really lend itself to be very positive, really. Right. The fact is that you have a message. Talk to us about why that was so important, understanding that, in mainstream hip-hop is not seen in that light.
Well, I take pride in knowing that there are people out there that want to hear good, substantial hip-hop, but also may want to hear the current beats and melodies that the music that we hear now on the radio streams give. So I kind of mix in with the best of both worlds and be able to relay a message, inspiring people that are trying to do positive things out there, because after all, we all want a positive world, or we want the world to be better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, talk to us about your company. Now, a lot of the artists that are listening, of course, are independent, meaning that they're not signed to a label. Was this something
Right.
that you realized that you wanted to give other artists an opportunity to do just as what you're doing by being able to make your music or produce your music and putting it out? What are your thoughts about that?
Yes, indeed. Like I also take pride in helping other artists in either way that I can. Being from North Carolina, where we have kind of a weird music scene, I kind of want to try to help in building and improving that music scene. So in doing that, I'm establishing networks with offering these services for other independent artists as far as producing and engineering and marketing materials and flyers and whatnot. Just trying to help in any way that I can because it's bigger than me. I'm really trying to make a difference where I am.
Love that. I love that. And I want to stay right there because you said something that was very interesting, being that you and I both are in North Carolina, and North Carolina is truly beginning to rise when it comes to music. Of course, you know, we're not like the Atlantas and the New Yorks of the world, but there is a significant amount of talent here. And now they have a place to go to get the music done. Talk to us about the steps to do that. So if someone was wanting to get their music produced, how would they do that? Can you share that with us?
Oh, well, they usually, normally I either get reached through, you know, the social media, whether it be Facebook or Instagram, and different artists want to work different ways, whether they send projects through email to mix if they're at a greater distance from me, or whether I go and, you know, we network and I go over there and we start from scratch. We start with an idea, a concept, and then put, you know, a rhythm to it and actually compose a project. I'll take it all by circumstance and, you know, each individual artist that I work with.
Mm-hmm. Love that. I love that. And I guess it finds itself to have an advantage on your part being able to do all of those things, so you really don't have to spend money, because a lot of people will have to go out and choose a production house and not only that, choose to work with producers that can actually give them the sound, and then of course being able to mix and master the project itself. Now you're able to do that. Can you talk to Source Nation and the indie artists that are listening today how important really is to know how to do it on your own and have your own?
I feel like it's really important. I think it's actually more an advantage because at some point during the saturation of, you know, there's so many people thriving to be an artist, you have different avenues to approach the industry. Even when, you know, you may not succeed as being an artist, you can bring different things to the table. But all in all, even with, you know, the knowledge I have and what I can do, I still like to, you know, partner and network with other people that do the same things or maybe might be a little better, to either learn from them or establish their network to just keep building. So I don't really like to try to limit myself to just, you know, my production, so to say, but you know, just trying to build is the overall mission for me.
Mhm. Mhm. Love that. Now, looking at your bio, you talked about mixtapes. Now, is this where you actually got your start and how people began to know you? Because you worked with several of the radio stations down in Raleigh and around the Fayetteville area. So were you primarily known as a mixtape artist?
Yes. I started out with a few artists, and we would just do a compilation of covers over other industry beats and mix in a couple original pieces in and just give it out for free on the streets, just, just kind of spread who we were and our sound. And, that's how it all started. And people started grasping from that, and I networked with some people who gave me some great opportunities to DJ my mixtapes, and that also spread it for another aspect of exposure.
Okay, so the current project, is it a mixtape project, or how is that?
It's actually an album.
Okay.
We were originally shooting it to be a EP, but we built a pool of songs, and we wanted to get the overall message across, boarding the plane, boarding the movement, and we couldn't narrow it down but to 11 tracks. So it kind of set in on us as being an album through the post-production part of the project. It's all original, and it's available on iTunes and Google Play and Amazon for a good price, and it's the good music if you want to listen to something with some substance.
I love that, and that's, again, going back and listening to hip hop and rap today, what I hear in mainstream, I'm gonna be honest with you, Major, I turn that stuff off. And if I'm riding in the car with it, because I have a 21-year-old and I have a 14-year-old, and matter of fact, back during Christmas when my oldest son was home, and he has a car, so I just jumped in the car with him, and he turned on, I think we were listening to Drake, and I will say this, I do like Drake, but there are only certain songs that I will listen to, and I'll probably pick up the course by Drake or something like that. It has to be literally clean, 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 clean. And I'm like, what in the world are you listening to? Every other song or every other word was a curse word. So to say that you have a mission, and to say that you want something very positive out there, and really reflecting you as an artist and what you're trying to do in the industry is remarkable. So I do thank you for that. So with that being said, being that you've chosen this path, do you find it to be competitive to get your music played in mainstream? What are your thoughts about that?
It's a different experience, but you just have to, I guess, find your target audience. So I just kind of try to think outside the box of what a normal urban artist would think to book a gig, instead of the big clubs or whatnot. I'd rather go, if a bar may have openings for entertainment, or we even did a middle school because my lyrics weren't, too vulgar or anything for the kids, so they let us perform at the middle school. So different things outside the box of what a normal urban artist would be restricted from their content within their music.
Right. Love that. Well, let's talk about the current project and some of the music that you've submitted to us today. And I will tell you this: one of my favorites that I first listened to was About Business, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I like that one. And then of course, here at the station, Source Nation has chosen their favorite too. But talk to us, because we're going to go and listen to About Business momentarily. But talk to us about that particular single, and why was it so important to release this one on your current project?
Well, through this whole project, I entered several different kind of moods, and to where I wanted to express the way I felt about certain things going on in my local environment. I wanted to touch on how, artists, they stick to, just the studio portion of the business, and not really more so of the business portion. And I felt a certain type of way about that. So I kind of used that to speak on that, and I ended up linking with actually my first cousin, and he had a record, and he kind of had the same idea when we were sitting down listening to beats, and when we had the same idea, I just knew it was a sign to just run with it, and it ended up being a successful record.
Mhm. Love it. I love it. Source Nation, we are speaking with Major Green. He is our artist today here in the second hour for hip hop, rap, and pop. I want to say R&B because you have a little bit of R&B flavor in some of your music that you submitted to. So, don't mind me if I throw R&B in there. But what we're going to do is we're going to listen to About Business. If you can introduce that to Source Nation, we'll take a listen to it now.
Okay, here you go. This is About Business, produced by June Heater, off the new project, Border Plains.
Love that song. I do. I love that. My favorite line, Major, is, are you thinking locally? I'm thinking globally. I'm about my business. I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's me right there.
That's what's up.
Love it. And see, and that's what I'm saying is that it has a positive message, and it has a beat. So,
right.
And that, to me, I just think that it will go a long way with people that are looking for great music, and I think that you were able to do just that. Now, on this particular project, are you working with any other local artists or possibly national artists?
Well, on this one, I kind of stayed closer to home. I do have, of course, the Art Gallery has T. Graham, which is another local artist out here in the Raleigh area, and there is I have the two artists that's under my team, Our Candy Productions, that's also featuring as well. But I kind of stayed a little personal with the project, so it wasn't as many features as normally I would do on a mixtape or whatnot.
Okay, all right, great. The next single that we have here in the station is "I Don't Care." Tell us a little bit about "I Don't Care" and why was that so important to put on the project as well.
It was another kind of mood shift, I guess, within the project, and I was in more of an aggressive mood about, just being confident in what you're doing and not really thinking too much of what others may think about what you're doing, especially if what you're doing is working or what you are pertaining to is the right thing, So, I expressed myself about it on this record.
Okay. Awesome. Well, if you can introduce this one to Source Nation, we'll go ahead and take a listen to it as well.
All right. Here's the newest single off of Border Plains, entitled "I Don't Care," produced by Perilous the Prince out of Jamaica.
I love that one. I was sitting here and listening to "I Don't Care" and "About Business," and I don't know if you've gotten this before, but I usually, when the artists are on, there's some similarities to other artists that I've listened to. So let me tell you what I'm feeling and what I'm hearing, and you let me know if you've heard this before. But the sound and the feel and the groove has a similarity to Mr. Christopher Brian Bridges. And Source Nation, if you don't know who that is, that's a.k.a. Ludacris. Have you ever heard, or has anyone ever said that you've had a similar feel to Ludacris?
I'm actually in shock because I have actually gotten that before from a DJ that I reached out to, and I was sending material for them to consider spinning, and she replied back and she was like, "Yeah, I love it. it reminds me of my favorite artist, Ludacris, and I'm like, wow, I sound like Ludacris. I took it as a compliment.
I did. I was like, ooh, that sounds like Ludacris. So I mean,
yes, I have
that
definitely gotten that before.
Okay. See, that means something. Just the fact that some of his music before he got out there, because I've been doing this for a long time, Major. So I had a chance to hear some of the early stuff before they truly got big. It was some clean stuff, and just sitting here listening, I'm like, wow, that sounds like Ludacris a great deal. So great job on that. We actually have some questions that have come into the studio, and I want to get to those before we get to the next single, if we can. The first question that has come in goes back to what we were talking about, some of the people that you worked with. But who is your ultimate guest to work with, or artist you would like to work with?
It's there's several. Even though like right now I'm not really being restrictive to any collaboration. As long as the mindset is similar to what I'm trying to do, or we can agree on a concept. I'm all for it. But in industry wise, there are artists out there that I feel are still trying to keep substance in hip hop, and so if I had to name a few of those, it may be like a Big Crit or B.O.B. or somebody that is still definitely Kendrick Lamar. Oh man, I would go crazy over something like that.
Yeah, Kendrick is hot.
Right. So so there are still J. Cole, people that are still trying to give or send that positive message out and have fun with hip hop.
Mhm. That's good. The fact that you even stated not being so limited just to hip hop, but going, crossing into other genres like pop. Pop is really when you think of hip hop, you don't think of pop. But you're right. You got a lot of hip hop artists that have crossed over into that realm of music, and they're doing well.
Yes.
So talk to us about that, being able to be creative and not just place yourself in one particular genre.
Well, in learning the art of music, I had to be able to adapt with what I had. So it was like I might not have had a hip-hop beat every time that, when I first started out. So it allowed me to be versatile as when I started to critique my skill and improve and develop into a love of reaching out to different genres. And I've been able to meet different networks within different genres that have been, great influences to my career. And so it's built interest on me to venture out to different genres. So I enjoy it, and it reaches different audiences that the normal hip hop person would not reach. Gives me another advantage.
Mm-hmm. Love that. I love that. And let's get to the next question that has come in, and it's, how long did it take to complete the album?
It probably took the whole year of 2014. I did some of those songs early in the year, then I took a break, and I probably recorded about 20 songs, about 20 songs or so to pick between, as far as getting the message that I wanted to get across the board the plane. And at the end, I kind of sealed the deal, recorded a few more records to kind of finish getting the message across. So it took about the whole year, 2014.
Awesome. Well, the next single that we're going to listen to is Art Gallery, and I must say it is a Source Nation favorite. So thank you so much for for submitting it here. If you will, please talk to us a little bit about Art Gallery, and we'll take a listen to it after that.
Okay, Art Gallery was produced by a guy named Tony Witherspoon. He now resides in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he came to one of my live performances, and he loved the sound that I had, and I was actually rocking with a live band, and so he does live instrumentation, and so he was like, I have to do a project with you. I have to do a project with you, and he sent me the record, and we came to the studio and wanted to do something out of the box, a different concept, since it was a different sound than I was used to really recording on. And so we talked about a woman, and it came out as Art Gallery, and we shot a video at an actual art gallery and brought in some beautiful ladies, beautiful models, and it turned out to an overall very successful project.
Awesome. If you will, please, if you can introduce your single to Source Nation, we'll go ahead and take a listen to it.
Okay, guys, this is Art Gallery, again, from the project Board the Plane, available on iTunes and Google Play. This is produced by Tony Witherspoon.
Great, great song and positive message. I love that. I love that. Now, as far as the vocals, you weren't doing the vocals, correct?
No, that was the local artist T. Graham out of Raleigh.
Okay. Love it. Now the next single, and I love this one too, Old School Party. Talk to us about Old School Party and why this was so important to put on your project as well.
Well, Old School Party came about, it was the first record that me and Cornelius the Prince from Jamaica did together. And it was a video we were looking to shoot on my birthday. And we actually shot the video on my birthday, and it was we had a 90s theme party. And everybody came dressed up and whatnot, and we actually had a party, and then at the end, with the remaining people that was left, we shot the video, and it was a very fun experience, and it gained a lot of exposure because a lot of people were involved in the overall project, so it was probably one of the most memorable projects visually that I've had.
Yes, so, well, if you will, you can introduce that one to Source Nation. We'll take a listen to that one too.
All right, here's Old School Party from Board the Plane, produced by Cornelius the Prince.
Love me some good two-step music. Now, I'm probably dating myself major, I know. But I didn't do the two-step.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I love it. Well, I tell you, it has truly been a pleasure having you in the studio with me. I'm looking at my time, and we're running out. But what I would love for you to do, because, we have a lot of independent artists that are listening to the show today, and, of course, you said some great things in the conversation, and I do appreciate you for doing that. But if you will, please, if you could share maybe some encouraging word or possibly maybe some advice that you haven't shared with us in today's conversation, that would be great to pass on to our indie artists that are listening today.
Well, it's been a pleasure being on here today, first off, I want to say. And I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to give, the ideal advice because I'm still growing myself. But just based off the experience that I've had, just keep pushing on it. It's times every independent artist has that day where, you almost want to just put the pen down and just, because it's so much, it's saturated now, and you have to have a certain sound to be marketable into what's what's out or what's current today. So just be you, and that way you can be the most marketable person because nobody can be you.
That's so true. Love that. Now let me ask you, how can we get more information about you and continue to support you in your efforts?
If you want to follow most of the things that I have going on, my website is usually up to date at www.iammajorgreen.com. I usually keep all my newest visuals and projects available, as well as shows and things like that.
Awesome. Well, you know what? I just got a message in the studio, Major. Now, you know, the ladies are checking out some of the pictures we've been posting up, letting them know that you're going to be here. And, you know, my ladies, and I love them, they are bold in asking, is he married? Because he is fine. Are you married, Major?
I am happily married with one child.
Oh, shucks.
So.
Well, ladies, you got your answer. Well, I tell you that the fact is that you know, you are doing some great things, and I love the fact that you can take this particular style of music and give it some positive feel to it is amazing. Right. And I know that you're going to go far. Please know any music that you have that you want played, you definitely have a home here at Sports Radio Network. Just send it over to us, and we'll go ahead and put it in rotation for you.
Thank you so much. That means the world.
You're welcome. Well, you have a wonderful and blessed Saturday, and we look forward to hearing from you again soon.
Right.
Thank you. Well, Source Nation, you heard it right there from our second artist of the day, Mr. Major Green. He is doing some great things on the hip-hop scene. I love the fact that, you know, he can take a beat and make it sound good, positive lyrics with the beat. So awesome. For more information about Major and what he's doing in his career, and definitely following him to get more great music just as you heard today, you can go out on Kathy B, Sports Radio Network, as well as our main station page, Sports Radio Network, and you can find all of that information and more about Major Green. Thanks so much, Major, for being here. We're getting ready